So welcome to the very first giveaway Ching consultation for our first lucky winner. I'm going to call you Kay for short. Congratulations, Kay, for your win for February 2020. Thank you to you and to every person who submitted their question to the Ching. Kay, well done. You are the winner, and let's work with your question for this month. Right, so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to take you through the coins, the casting of the coins, the framing of the question, and just give you some insights as we go through this process of how an Ching consultation works. Obviously, we're working on a simplified version of what you could do. There's lots of levels of information you can unpack as you go through it. So let's do that. And the question that Kay sent through was, please advise me on how to improve my finances through theatre. So a couple of things. The first thing is, when we work with an Ching question, perhaps the question and how we frame the question is the most important part of this whole process. Because the clearer the question, the more succinct and focused the question is, the better an answer we get. So ask better questions to get better answers. And what we do with Ching questions is we actually frame them in the third person. So when I ask the question, even if I do my own castings, I ask, please advise Belinda. So in this case, it's please advise Kay on how to improve her finances through theatre. Now, obviously, given the world that we're in, Kay, for you, if we'd asked this question 3 weeks ago, we might have got a very different answer, considering the world we now find ourselves in, where there's a new normal of total uncertainty. So what I'm going to propose is that as we work with your question, we put a little bit of a proviso on there, and we ask the question instead like this: please advise Kay on how to improve her finances through theatre once this crisis has passed. Because in a way, we're in lockdown, we're in isolation, we're in a world we don't know yet. And so when things are settled and when things sort of return to a normal, we're not quite sure what normal is going to look like. When things return to normal, what could you do to focus more on improving your finances through theatre? So you've got the question up, and let's go for it. So what I do is I've got my coins here, and what you can see is on this side of the coin where you see more detail, that's the male or yang side of the coin, and that counts for 3 points. So if you can count to 3 or 2, you can definitely do the Ching. On the opposite side of the coin, you'll see that there's only 2 markings, and you can see all the coins are the same. This is your female or your yin side of the coin. That counts for 2 points. And all we're doing when we ask an Ching question is we're posing the question, and we're then casting the coins 6 times over and counting them up. So let's do that together. When we cast the coins, it's not about tossing the coins. I hate the word toss. Like, it just seems like toss is something you do to throw away things. We are cast the coins, because as we are throwing those coins, even the word throwing, casting, as we're casting those coins, what we're doing is we're creating a flow of energy. So here we have our coins. Let's ask the question one last time. Please advise Kay on how to improve her finances through theatre once this crisis has passed. Right, so here we go. So we just let the coins go from hand to hand. We let them fall when they want to fall. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 points, 2 points, 3 points. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there we go. 7. Let's do it again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, let's speed this up. All right, so now that we have cast our coins, what we do is we then fill out our numbers. You'll see we start at the bottom. We always cast our coins upwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times, count out the coins. We draw in, once we've done our numbers, a male line if it's a 7 or a 9, and a female dashed or broken line if it's an 8 or a 6. Here in this particular hexagram that we now have, so here is a hexagram, you can see I haven't made any dots and we haven't had any 6s or 8s. So we don't have any 6s and we don't have any 9s, pardon me. And that means that we have no changing lines. So this is a locked hexagram, and we've had that many times over. If we look at the hexagram itself, we unpack it. The top trigram, or the top 3-lined image, is called heaven, and I'm drawing as neatly as possible. And heaven moves up with energy, right? It's the ultimate creative power moving up, surging from the ground up into the heavens. And here, the second trigram, the bottom trigram, is our trigram lake, and she also moves up. So we can see that without having to look at our interpretation or look at more detail in terms of the hexagram itself, we have a lot of upward movement and it's locked. So a locked hexagram is always about something that's more fixed, more rigid, more focused, doubling our attention down on what this hexagram all means. Now obviously if we had changing lines, there's many other things we can unpack. And I'd say to you that one of the things is that this is quite a locked and fixed situation. And perhaps if you ask the question in a different way, you might create the changing lines to unlock it. But as a concept, how do I prove my finances through theatre once the crisis is past? We have this locked hexagram. So let's get into what this hexagram actually means. Okay, so this hexagram is hexagram 10, called treading. And if I was better at drawing, I'd draw you a picture of a tiger. So in this hexagram, you can imagine this outer hexagram, something that's outside of you, is this powerful energy, the creative energy of heaven. And this is symbolized as the tiger. Okay, so here's the tiger. And this energy over here, this inside energy representing you, so the outside is the exterior, the internal is you, your situation, and you are the lake, and the lake is the young girl. Okay, she's the young, innocent girl that merrily dances her way through life. Okay, not characterizing yourself as that, but this is the combination of energies. And what happens is if the young girl is too over-enthusiastic here in her internal demeanor, the way she interacts with the external world with the tiger, she can over-enthusiastically follow the tiger, because remember, heaven is moving up and lake is moving up with heaven, and heaven's got a bit of a stronger pull because lake is behind heaven, is behind the tiger. If this lake, if this young girl moves too brusquely or too fast, she could stamp on the tail of a tiger. And what that means, the tiger turns and snaps. So, okay, what this is showing for you in finance related to theatre is that there's great power in this situation, great power for you in the situation to achieve what your question has asked. Finances through theatre once the crisis has passed. This is the tiger, but it's a wild animal. So what we do is the way we engage with it is we cautiously proceed step by step. The young girl can really, if she follows the tiger at a safe little distance, but keeps up with following this great creative power that's in the situation, she can be drawn into a huge amount of opportunity. But it's rushing ahead too fast and almost underestimating the power in the situation that is the risk for the young girl. So treading is the hexagram talking about how we proceed in life, how we follow our process step by step, and how we make our way. How do we follow the influence that is drawing us forward, that is this tiger? So I would say to you, there's huge creative potential in your environment in this question. There's things you can tap into. There's power and opportunity you can tap into. Your task is to control and mature your relationship with it and how you engage with it, and not be impetuous or too rash or trying to force things or trying to get the tiger to turn around, because the tiger will snap back, because that's just what the tiger does. So go for it. There's energy. It's how you engage in this energy, how you make your way through the situation is answering your question. How do I improve my finances? You follow every step. You proceed cautiously, step by step, but there is, in this environment, creative potential to do what you need to do. Now, one thing that I'm going to show you, which we have never demonstrated in the channel before, is something called a nuclear hexagram. And we write that down. This page is starting to get quite messy. A nuclear hexagram. Of course, nuclear means the heart. And the way that we do the nuclear hexagram is we take these lines. I'm not going to go into a whole detailed explanation of why. And we take these lines and we make a new hexagram. And basically what we're doing is we're discarding the top line, which is what is leaving. And we discard the bottom line, which is what is new. And we're looking for the enduring thing in the middle that continues, which are those lines, right? And what we get is a new hexagram, which we draw again, which is yang, yang, yin, and yang, yin, yang. So here we have, we break down those trigrams. Here we have wind or wood. Oh, now I can see how bad my handwriting is. And underneath we have fire. And this hexagram is number 37, the family. Okay, the family is taking care of family, your concept of family, connecting with family. So I would say that there's two things to it. Obviously, given that we have no idea how this whole COVID-19 thing is going to pan out or how long it's going to take, there's two things. Either is at the heart of this whole process is proceed carefully because the family is needing care or support or needing to play your part in the family. The other part of that is proceed cautiously, but at the heart of the situation, what's really going on underneath the covers is being part and building a relationship with a work family. So for you to consider and think about how might part of this process that I'm doing in answering the question of finances through theatre is, where do I feel that sense of being part of a family in theatre? And maybe that's part of the process that you're going through that can help you unlock the path and, of course, the finances that you're looking for. So something around the family. If you're in an environment where it's totally freelance, where you just come and go, it's ad hoc, part of this process is, where do you find that family in your theatre work that helps ground this process? Or where might you be treading carefully in this question because you're needing to just be with the family and be part of the family, playing your role properly. And of course, pardon the bad pun on theatre. Okay, so unfortunately no changing lines for you. It is what it is. The advice that I Ching comes back with is, how do you improve your finances through theatre? Is to cautiously proceed step by step. It's not to stop. It's not to race. It's not to go into hibernation and all the things that could possibly be. Tread the path carefully and follow the tiger, making sure you do not stand on his tail, because there's power and opportunity for you. If you race ahead, it can be brought to a halt. I hope that is meaningful for you. And of course, anybody watching the video, just to learn about how this process works, that there might be some insight and guidance for you in how to work with your finances once the crisis has passed. Thank you, Kay. Thank you for all those who have submitted questions. Please go along to the link for this episode and you'll find a link taking you to a whole variety of options, of resources that I've put together, one of which is the link to enter the March 2020 overview. And please go and pop in your question. The competition is closing at the end of March, which of course is only a few days away. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, everyone. And have a safe and wonderful week ahead.